It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
say I can supply you with a couple targets local.
I don't know to actually really do it. And we've learned Haley is not good enough to be an assassin. Let's be totally honest. I'd be caught in a heartbeat.
Right.
They just police would look at me the wrong way, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I did it! I'm so sorry."
Best defense ever.
It couldn't have been me because
There
if
we
it
go.
was me, I would have confessed.
See, and Davy Jones, I actually got you ahead of time when we were playing Cyberpunk earlier on. My microphone was not muted, so I even made mention of that. I had it on time, and you're back in the channel, and
Yeah.
I didn't unmute my mic. Oh well. So, anyways, go pig.
Yeah.
So we are back with Blood Ties. So as a brief recap, where this one particular game takes place, it takes place before everything that's taking place in Vampire the Masquerade, Ashland by Night, the primary game. Sounded like William Shatner there. It takes place before the primary game. And so this is just a bit of a time jump back before the scene with Camiel and everything changing and whatnot. This is the blood wedding of Trudy Maxwell to Malcolm Velanese. We have gathered at this point. The scene is taking place at the ranch compound / home haven to the...
Oh, I didn't realize we were having it at my house.
Yes, you're having it at your house.
I thought we were having it at the church.
No,
I'm not going to complain. It's fine.
it's easier to secure.
Yeah.
Plus, if anything went wrong, I mean, ideally, we know where this is all set up.
We have plenty of land to dig bodies, dig holes for bodies.
I
Not
wouldn't have gone there, but Trudy is being judicious, I guess.
You bury yours? We recycle.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Davy Jones pointed out, Shelly, I'm not too sure. I can't hear her or see her right now, so I'm not too sure what's up. She did have technical issues back on Wednesday, so we don't know if
It
that's
looks like she's muted.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's a lingering thing or not, or what's going on. So hopefully she will show up at a dramatically appropriate moment. So, with that being said, everybody has gathered at the ranch home of Trudy Maxwell. Now, this home is actually, it's not multi-leveled. It's actually your typical ranch home, so it's more longer and wider, all on a single floor. There are some animals out back, horses specifically. There is a retooled barn that has been modernized. Looks like it's probably doubles up. If you've ever seen some of the more modern ranches, they not only double up as obviously storage for the horses or cattle or whatever you might have for your ranch, but part of it also doubles up as a like maybe a partial office or extra rooms in some case.
A barn dominium.
There you go, a barn dominium.
Nice.
We will call it that because it does have an area to sleep in. So there, that is set out back. There are obviously it's taking place at night. Otherwise, most of our guests would be burnt. The out by the barn, there's a really nice setup where it's kind of there's been like an overhang created, giving it kind of like an extended large covered patio addition to this particular building. There are soft white lights that run on either side. And in fact, I don't have the pictures for it offhand. I just thought about this, but Brittany, when we did the scene for the barbecue with the Giovanni. It looks kind of like that setup. So I don't know if you can grab one of those pictures or something and toss it in the primary chat. If you can, great. If you can't, don't worry about it.
I'll see what I can.
But
find.
basically, it has a really nice kind of country feel, modernization to it. One of the another area adjacent to it is kind of I don't want to say U-shaped, but positioned with some nicer plush couches and wicker seating and whatnot, which would be appropriate for outdoors, but obviously not something you would bring inside per se. So it has a really nice southwestern look to it. Like they really tried to pull some of the best from the west as well as the southwest and modernize this particular area. There is a podium with a pulpit specifically where the priest will be residing. Those of you who have come in, you have seen that it is obviously heavily guarded. You would think that a celebrity lived here or something, because there are any number of plainclothes individuals wandering around, keeping an eye out, as well as the suit and tie type. So it is a mix, and so people who are unaware coming in would not necessarily know immediately who was probably the armed threat right off the bat. There are dozens of cars out here, obviously, as guests have been pulling up and coming in. And we'll go, we can catch up to Shelley in a bit, I guess. But we'll start with Haley and with Trish showing up. How is Trish dressed? Trish has some money to her name, finally. Has had a chance to go shopping.
So she's dressed in a very flowy, ethereal type gown. It's off the shoulder. It's made out of, it looks like it would be like tulle, like kind of that scratchy tulle, but it's like this really soft, like chiffon-y type material.
Okay.
And it's so it's off the shoulder on both sides and bunched over the bust, but then just flows behind her. So when she walks, it almost looks like she's walking on a cloud. And she doesn't have any jewelry. Her hair's up in a bun with like one of those big huge chignon buns, sorry, wrong word. With like just tendrils coming down. So she looks very like, she looks really pretty. But yeah, that's what she's like. And she's got just like flat shoes on. She's not into the high heel torture devices. Okay.
Well, considering she's been on the run for so long too, that's probably antithetical.
Yeah.
Because you need flat feet to run. That would be a waste of time to get shoes like that to then turn around and bolt out of them.
It's true. However, Tyra Banks says the right stilettos that actually fit your feet, you should be able to sprint in. I don't know if I believe that.
Okay. I do think we've established that Trish is not Tyra Banks.
No. In physical mannerisms or pretty much any other way.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Sansa, I know you've kind of put out some images in the chat, so why don't you explain what Sansa looks like showing up to this shindig? And we can't hear you.
Rachel.
I always forget this stupid button. So Sansa is wearing a sort of a long dress. It's green, almost velvet, kind of a brocade type. It's got a very deep V-neck to it, basically, that goes down to a sort of belted in waist. Not really belted, it's just part of the dress, which is also sort of this really rich, nice green. And then on the sleeves are kind of like bell sleeves a little bit. They come to the wrist, and the bodice of the dress and below the waist part is this really nice embroidered sort of things that are very whimsical. They've got like little flowers. They've got on the back, it's also embroidered with flowers and birds. It's very green velvet tropical. I don't know how else to describe it.
Sure.
Like but very classy, almost from the like 20s, 30s type of gown. Just very slim but flowy at the same time.
Okay.
And accents of gold, and her hair is normal, big, and just all over, but she's wearing some makeup.
Okay. So Ben.
Yeah, so Ben comes in, is dressed more or less like what I am right now. He's got the nice button-down shirt, tie. He's making it as classy as possible. He's got then black dress slacks, black shoes, dress shoes, of course. Wearing the watch that Flames had given him for Christmas,
Aw.
and yeah, he's simple yet, he makes sure that it all fits. So,
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Revis. How did Revis show up?
Well, we're going to see if we can do this. That's the headshot of Revis. He's wearing a Miami Vice chick, sharkskin suit, open white French silk dress shirt, shoes that click on the linoleum tiles.
Okay. Fair enough. So then it's safe to say when you first walk in the door, Phil Collins starts to play, right?
I'm hoping not, because then
Okay.
I'm going to ask to see where the motorboat is so I can get away.
The land motorboat. Okay. And it looks like we do have Shelly here. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Hi guys, sorry.
So,
I had makeup malfunctions like you wouldn't believe.
so why don't you go ahead and explain what Lily looks like coming up to the wedding?
She's wearing this. It's a burgundy dress with the black lace, and of course the grommets.
Okay.
And it goes down to just above her knees, and she's wearing knee-high leather platform combat boot like style
Okay.
shoes, and of course the hair is
Form
always
and
this way.
function.
Yes, her gothic self.
Okay. Let's see. Would anybody have seen Trudy yet, or is Trudy sequestered away?
I don't know how these things work.
Yeah. Well,
They're
Trudy
normally the bride's normally like not seen until after
Right.
the ceremony.
this is
Yeah, only the
true,
bridesmaids get
Um,
to see her.
but this
Trish
is
doesn't
not
know nothing about vampire weddings. So.
right. Well, at the same time, this is Trish's home, or Trudy's home, I should say. Would she be out and about welcoming guests, or would she be sequestered away?
She's probably not greeting guests.
Okay, fair enough. So we will get to you in a moment then.
Yes, it's
So-
bad luck for the groom to see her before the wedding.
yeah, there you go.
Well, for Trudy, this is round 3. So
She's gonna do it right this
And
time.
the other two didn't go super well.
not really. So there's a whole host of individuals in here. I would wager to say there's probably at least a third of the people here nobody has met. There's clearly individuals here that are in kind of like the waiting room, greeting room, sort of like living room, a den sort of space in the house where most people are speaking. That many of you don't know. There is a gentleman with short black hair, striking lines along his features, in a very nice, well-tailored suit and tie. He has a very on his lapel tie. He has a very subtle Clan Ventru tie pin. It looks like it's probably silver. Also in here, there is an individual who he's dressed actually impeccably, given his features. It's mostly in black. It does seem to be like maybe a white undershirt or something that kind of peeks out, but it has a mandarin collar tie, form fitting overcoat and whatnot. His fingers, however, are a bit longer than normal, coming kind of like looking a little bit monstrous. His face, in the dark, you could probably pass for human, like in dim lighting or whatnot. But he has obviously some monstrous features around his ears. They look, clearly not like a human ears per se. And the top of his head, while bald, is a little veiny. Looking probably Nosferatu. But he's as is, very clearly not hiding who or what he is, which of course helps set the tone for what you could expect for the wedding. You see Agaya here. She is in, I think we settled on, was it lavender? I think, yeah. Okay, so all the bridesmaids are in like these really nice looking lavender dresses. All of them like off the shoulders and whatnot. Agaya's is a little different because it has to accommodate her wings. So it's kind of off the shoulders, but also backless. But she's keeping her wings kind of tucked back, to her body. She's taking great care to make sure her hair is combed. She's not looking anything like the tomboy that she normally looks like. So she is kind of interspersed with the crowd. There's also let's see. Lettice is here, whom you would also know. She is also dressed in one of the lavender dresses. There is any number of staff members wandering around, making sure that things are taken care of. They're picked up. Anybody needs food or refreshments, that is taken care of as well. Let's see. I'm thinking. For right now, I think it's about it. I'm trying to think, did I miss anybody specific that you invited, Trudy?
I just messaged you.
Oh. Would help if I checked my messages. Aha! Aha! What you know from funny? Okay, yes, I forgot. Oh, geez. Thank you for reminding me about that one. There is also another woman here. About average height. Well, not average. I think, let me check. She is about, we'll say somewhere in the range of, depending on the shoes that everybody's wearing, somewhere probably between 5'4" and 5'6". Not small, SMOL, not small, but a touch on the diminutive side. Her features are a bit small, like she's a little bit more slender. She's dressed immaculately in a gown, and the gown itself looked like it probably could have come from like the old world. Like this is something somebody would have wore to some sort of like regalia between royalty of some kind. So she very clearly stands out. And the interesting thing about that dress is all it takes is just one look at it and you're like, no, that's legit. That's not a modern retake. Like, how sometimes you can look at
It's not a replication.
Yeah, you can look at an outfit and go like, that is a great replication. Like you just know, oh, they did a great job at the Ren Fair. They did a great job at Shakespeare's Festival or wherever, It's great looking and would probably hold up in a movie. But then there's the ones you look at and you go like, well, that's probably a model piece. Holy cow. That's basically the impression you get from her. She is above average looking. Her hair is done up kind of back and into a bit of a bun to keep just off of the shoulders. But you, judging by the volume of hair, it probably flows when it's down much further down. She is a bit paler in complexion than most people here, depending upon your humanity rating. And she seems to be hanging around the larger gentleman who has the Ventru pin, or tie pin, I should say.
Okay.
So there are some people here. You obviously notice. Did you message me again?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, coming directly from that event kind of threw me off with some of this. And then the last one, you would notice, she is also kind of diminutive, in a touch, closer to 5'6" though. So, but still kind of slender body. She is wearing a very nice modern suit. Her hair is pulled back into a ponytail, and she has some nice jewelry and whatnot, but she looks like she would probably be, she could probably pass for someone on the board of directors as well. So, you know, it could be her attire and the way she holds herself, it could probably fit, like she could step out from here and, you know, sell 100,000 stocks, you know, or something like she just has that kind of look to her. And in fact, some of the well-dressed but more plainclothes individuals that kind of wander around seem to defer to her a lot.
I think that's everybody.
Okay. Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. I had a feeling I was missing some folks.
The bride
Okay.
knows the guest list.
Yeah.
We got some VIPs here.
Yes.
And of course, Trudy's people are out and about, and the Giovanni
Correct.
ghouls are out and about too.
Yes. So Xandria pulls Benjamin aside. She's actually dressed in a nice suit and whatnot, and very clearly got an earpiece and whatnot. So she's not only here attending, but she's clearly on duty.
Gotcha.
and whatnot. Her hair is, you know, done back, similar to the other woman. It's pulled back and in a ponytail, but nothing else beyond that. You know, because again, she's mostly here working. And she says, "Okay, Ben, as the ranking, I guess, Anarch here, I should probably introduce you to some people. So I don't know if you want to assemble the rest of your bat family or whatnot. It would probably be prudent. I don't know if Trudy told you, but we have some pretty important individuals that showed up."
Gotcha. Yeah, looks like a who's who around here. Let me grab the crew. He pulls out his cell phone and sends a group text like, everybody who's at the wedding, meet me at, and like wherever I'm at. If I'm at, like, you know, near the bar or a specific table or whatever, just to
Yeah, well, I mean, you're probably closer to the living room or something. She probably got you like when you first came in.
Okay.
You know, so that way you didn't like just wander in and get ambushed with like, "Oh, hello," and you didn't get like a preface or whatnot. So
Right.
Well, and I'm assuming Trish is with him, right?
probably, yeah.
Considering she apparently doesn't get anywhere without Ben.
Right. Exactly.
She
Ben
needs
is
a car.
Trisha's. Yeah. Exactly.
Chauffeur.
Yeah.
Revis will wander in.
Okay.
Yeah, Lily will find her way to him.
I was curious, Jerome, before we get too much further. Was this a weapons left at home affair, or was this we'll pat you down and let you know if we'll let you continue in affair?
That's a great question. This is no blades, no bows, leave your weapons at the door affair.
Okay, so
So
I've got a
you can
shoulder
bring
holster
them.
checked at the door.
Yeah. You
That's
can bring
okay.
them, but they're just checked at the door.
That's what I want to make sure. I'm like, okay, mine's checked at the door then.
Gosh, Lily feels naked.
No
Get
weapons.
bigger combat boots.
Yeah.
But okay, so with that, you get a ping collectively. Making sure I didn't miss anything else. Okay. Yeah, well, I can't really show pictures on Twitch without messing up
Yeah.
some of the screen. So
Oh no, I was just saying it would be nice if we could drop them in the chat, like how we do in normal chats.
All right.
oh yeah, I don't have
We'll
them.
suggest that to Twitch for a feature.
Yeah. Well, I'll work on a layout too that will allow me to shuffle everybody off to one side and like how some games pull up a map and then you have like everybody off to one side and then you get the map over here. I'll do something like that for this too. I just didn't get the chance to do that, and I didn't think
Like
about
our
the
combat
pictures
screen.
because that's bad ST moment. Sorry. So
If you're in the Discord, we could drop it in the Discord, but
no, yeah,
for
I don't
viewers of the show, it's fine. We can
Right.
stop talking about this now. It's fine.
think so. Anyway, Xandria brings you forward, Ben and company, if you've all kind of converged on Ben. And she says, Ben and company, I would like to introduce you to Damascus Drayburgen. Some of you may have met him before. He actually is havening in Klamath Falls, which is adjacent to Ashland by about an hour or so. Good question. I can put them on the wiki, Davy Jones. I will actually do that after the stream.
Yeah, otherwise we're going to be writing down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, for the pictures and whatnot. So
Okay.
and
And
the NPCs, I don't know if I have a spot for that just yet, but
okay.
I can.
Can we just reference that it's someone we met at the wedding and not have it be a big deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that.
Pretty venue.
Yes, very, 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 very pretty venue. And she says, and with Damascus Drayburgen is Rebecca, both of Clan Ventru.
Well, welcome to the free city of Ashland.
And Damascus says, "Thank you. We were obviously invited by the bride to be, and it was of importance to Clan Ventru, so they called in local representation. Obviously,
Makes sense. Yeah, clans are tight knit. Doesn't matter if you're Anarch or anywhere. But I think you've met everybody here. Don't think we've met Rebecca before. Is that correct?
And she smiles and nods, and she says, "No, I have not met any of you individuals as of yet."
I'm Benjamin Baxter, sweeper here. Everybody, you want to introduce yourselves?
Ladies go first.
Lily Adams. Tremere.
I'm just Trish. Hi.
I'm Sansa, human.
The Senate just lets his eyebrows go right up. Like,
It's very obvious. As soon as they
Also,
said Tremere
Cardinal.
or what they were, she's like, "Oh, okay, we're saying that. All right, human."
I hope
Right.
she has a business card that just says human,
Human.
underneath. Like, here you go.
Oh my gosh, I want to make that so bad now.
Maybe be more specific. Human sorcerer. There we go.
No, just leave it human. Like
My
that's
name
better.
is Sansa, regular human sorcerer.
Yeah.
nope, irrelevant. Revis, Clan Sedite.
And so Rebecca looks to Sansa and Trish, and she says, "Oh, I see. So you've brought sorcerers and clanless. How cosmopolitan! You really are a bit of a trendsetter here in Anarchland."
just gonna kind of look at the other people to see how do they react to her saying that because she doesn't understand the politics behind all of this. She's like,
Lily's gonna kind of lean over to Trish and tell her she doesn't know your Torador. So when you didn't say
Oh.
anything, she is guessing that you don't belong to a clan.
should I say it? Is it
Yeah.
like I'm a Toreador?
So she just kind of
Because that
blurts
matters.
She kind of just blurts that out there, and she goes, "Oh, very well, Trish of Clan Toreador."
And she's gonna take a step back and kind of hide behind Lily just a little bit.
Okay.
Lily will reach back and take her hand.
And so so Rebecca politely pats Ben on the shoulder, and she says, "You'll help her with that, right?"
Oh my! Oh, instead I just turns and looks at the wall. He's like, "Oh wow, what a slam!"
We'll help each other. That's what anarchs do here.
Of course, that is exactly what I am told, and I have been very interested in all of the updates that have come from this great city. I'm a fan.
Well, expect more. Glad we got a fan from outside the city. You also Haven and Klamath Falls or elsewhere?
Oh, no, of course not. I'm touring the East Coast and the old world. I'm sure you know how that goes.
Well, to a degree. Been around, not outside the country though, but yeah. Glad you've got travel accommodations. I know that's more difficult for our type.
It hasn't been an ordeal. When one comes flush with money, it's often just a matter of throwing enough at it.
Must be nice. Wouldn't know myself, but I know there's plenty that do.
And so, and she, looks up to, Damascus. And Damascus is probably in the range of above 6 foot. Kind of an imposing, figure. And she looks up to him, and she says, "And so, shall we meet any of the other guests?" And he says, "Of course." And he just politely offers his arm to her, and they go kind of walking off. And you get you get the impression immediately he's actually deferring to her. So if any of you have met Damascus before, that's an interesting telltale.
Yeah. Okay.
And so Xandria takes a moment and lets a breath go. It's like
Trish, are you okay?
Just say. What happened? Wait,
I don't know. We can hear and see you.
you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I lost you guys for a second. No, I have a feeling I don't understand the nuances about what just happened, but I do get the distinct impression that I was insulted. Is that true?
You were.
I got the
Yeah.
feeling
Okay.
that too.
Oh yeah,
And true can be
you
a
were.
little...
Everyone who didn't identify themselves with a clan is considered, for lack of a better word, less than peon.
Okay, so I guess I just get confused about all that because I haven't had a clan for such a long time. I didn't really feel like it mattered all that much, but
It matters in the cam.
Yes.
And
Adventures can be very stuck up
Xandria
at
says in
times.
a much more lower tone, "It matters when they're older than dirt."
That too.
yeah. Well, I always just have a little bit of an issue when the elder of the world liked to be mean. So that's fine. And I'm
So,
frozen.
as a not so subtle hint from the incredibly blunt Sedite, make sure in the introductions you mention your clan. you'll find things go a little smoother.
Apparently, I will do that in the future.
It also is a reflection on Ben indirectly. While anarchs don't use status per se, he has to deal with those that do. And so anything that diminishes his status is not productive.
I think we're
Reva's
still
got a
here,
point.
but she may have
My video's doing something weird.
yeah,
Just a second.
no problem.
Yeah, you're frozen.
But I'll
So-
do that in the future. Thank
So
you.
the horns aren't really on your head?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So at any rate, yeah. So Xandria says to directly to Ben, she says, yeah, it would probably be a good idea then just to keep an eye on Sansa and Trish, just because they are more unfamiliar with Camarilla politics. Let's just say she was a couple graduation classes before Christ.
Seriously?
That's pretty old. Wow.
I feel like I shouldn't be here.
You're not one of the
Like,
appetizers or hors
at all.
d'oeuvres. You're fine. We're not
Not even
Sabah here.
socially do I feel like I should be here.
Just stay close to me. You'll be fine.
No offense, I don't want to stick next to you.
Well, okay.
Well,
then.
You know who she should sit next to? Helena. I
True,
don't think anybody has met Helena.
because she's antisocial.
That's true. That's true. They might know some people in common.
See, in my case, I'm not trying to be antisocial. I'm just
Right.
literally the human in this viper den.
oh, no. You exaggerate. It's more like chum in the Shark Tank.
So Xandria just says, she says, no, it's quite all right. We have another mortal sorcerer around. I'm sure she'll be out soon.
So Ben looks at Xandria. Anyone else we need to rub shoulders with?
Yes. And she just motions for all of you to follow her. She goes walking up to the woman that was in the sort of like the very business raider sort of look, but I'm still really, immaculately well done. Also above average as far as appearances were concerned. And she says, ma'am, second.
Goodness.
She says, may I present to you Benjamin of Clan Bruja, who is the ranking member of the anarchs here in town. And she's like, oh, lovely. And she just like looks to, amongst all of you. She says, my name is Isabel Giovanni.
Welcome to the free city of Ashland, Miss Giovanni.
Oh, I've been here a couple of times before. I've done business with your Baron. Lovely woman.
Yes,
Excellent.
we've heard about you.
Oh, my reputation precedes me. And she says that I'm sorry, and you are?
I'm Lily Adams, Clan Tremere.
Okay, and she's very polite and extends her hands to anybody who wishes to shake her hand.
Oh,
Lily will begrudgingly shake her hand.
Okay.
Revis takes out the Latin charisma and bends forward and kisses her hand and backs back. Revis Sargon, a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, I see. You must be the ministry member that I have heard of in town.
Well, I'm old enough to prefer the other designation.
Oh, very well then. My apologies. So you are not of the Reformed Church. You were of the original church then.
Yes, we I'm one of the survivors that has gone along with the new philosophy.
Very well. So a follower of Set, and she just looks around to gets to Sansa at this point.
Um, Sansa will, extend her hand. I'm Sansa de Vittorio.
Oh, I see. And so so she kind of looks to you and extends her hand, and she says, "Italiano."
See?
Oh, well, classing up the joint. I approve. And she looks to Trish.
Hi, I'm Trish. I am a Toreador. It's very nice to meet you.
Oh, yes. And she, extends her hand and shakes it again. She, even if you get the impression, even if she didn't care about any of you, she would still be polite and cordial as manners dictated. So it is very clear that by her mannerisms, that under no circumstances is she like gonna call out anybody. Like it's important to be proper. And she says, "Oh, and you must be the Christian singer that I heard something about."
You've heard about me? Really?
We do hear things within the town, and we do happen to maintain a rather sizable Giovanni presence.
Yeah. I am. I was before. I
Of course,
haven't.
before everything happened, I understand. You had a run-in with the Sabbat, yes?
You could call it that. Yeah.
Yes, a nasty bit of business those individuals can be. Well, I will thank you on behalf of the groom, obviously. Thank you for coming to this union between the clans, she says to all of you.
Our pleasure. We love Miss Trudy.
She does seem to have quite the following. And she kind of like looks around at like some of the other people that are like, dressed and whatnot. She does seem to have a rather attractiveness about her, and I don't mean that in a physical sense. She draws people to her.
Good quality if you want to get things done.
I would completely concur. And now, if you will excuse me, I do believe I have some other people to attend to. Something about food sources or whatnot. And she snaps her fingers, and like two guys come walking over to her.
Have a great evening.
And of you as well. And she politely nods her head, and then takes the other two, not quite like by the scruff, but like with her hand on their back, and like basic, in a manner of speaking, politely tell me what's going on, and kind of takes them off to the side.
I will be right back.
Fine.
It's the bride. You got to expect this.
I know.
Yes.
She harasses me too. That happened, a decent bit today at the event. So, got to get my shots in, but I can.
Right.
So, and then Xandria approaches at this point the individual who looked the way he did. The bit more monstrous features.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, and last but not least, this is a close friend of the family. May I introduce all of you to Daedalus of Clan Nosferatu? And for those of you who have seen the television show, this is the same Daedalus from Kindred the Embrace.
Daedalus, pleasure. Welcome to the free city of Ashland. Benjamin Baxter, Brewhouse Sweeper here.
I've heard a great many things about you.
Well, all the good things are right and all the bad things are wrong.
Spoken like a true Brewha. And he nodded politely.
Revis kind of looks at the two ladies, or the three ladies. Are you gals going to? Where would you like me to go first?
Trisha looks a little bit like a cat, like that's scared, with the big eyes and her ears she's kind of like stepped back a little bit. It's a very intimidating figure that's like all these people walking around and she's little.
Sansa will extend her hand again, and I'm Sansa de Vittorio.
You didn't add the human part.
I think it's obvious now.
So, and he politely shakes the hand of anybody who introduces themselves to him.
After the... Go ahead, Lily. Sorry.
Lily Adams, Clan Tremere.
Riva Sarga, Clan Sedite.
I'm Trish. I'm from Toreador.
And he just, again, he's very polite and genteel. Despite his appearance, very non-threatening. And he says, it is a pleasure to meet all of you. I do hope to make your acquaintance more over the coming months.
Are you planning on staying?
Pardon me. Swallowed wrong.
Trish apparently has a mouth on her tonight.
No. Yeah. No, that was me. And he says, yes, I have a pending request of your Baron. I am requesting to move from San Francisco and take up residency here within Ashland.
We'll have to introduce you to Henri. He is our Nosferatu.
I have heard that you have another member of my clan within the city. I would like to meet him, perhaps eventually. Obviously not now. He is not here, but hopefully soon.
Well, he's dealing with...
He's having communication issues that he needs to get taken care of.
He's having some plastic surgery done.
Oh.
Steve kind of looks at the Toreador with what she said and goes, "That's an interesting way of putting it. Communication issues."
I think it works, right?
I think you're adopting really well. Maybe we could work on expanding your vernacular to include some socially innocent phrases so that you could fence with the best.
I think that is in that is in the future plans.
Well,
Project Trish is coming.
Again, I do hope to see more of you over the coming nights. I am a long-standing, as Zandria here has indicated, I'm a long-standing friend of the family.
It'll be good to have you then.
And with that he says, I believe they're going to be starting soon. So if the rest of you will excuse me in a moment, I have to check with the bride.
Of course.
Have a great evening.
You as well.
Okay, do any of y'all see anybody else that I feel like I'm going to have to bow to here in a second? I just is anybody else freaked out about the number of people that are here? That
right behind
seem to be
Trish.
Freaking hell!
Right behind, when she's saying that, because she's like totally focused on the group and whatnot. You see a Gaia, and what she does is she sprouts her wings like around either side of Trish. And she says, like really close into her ear, she says, "Bow to me faithfully."
Of course, Trish is like, and then flips around and sees that it's gay, and she's like, "What are you trying to scare me? You look gorgeous, by the way, but stop it!"
Sedate's once again admiring the ceiling.
And she just says, "Sorry, tension breaker. It had to be done."
You do look quite lovely.
She's like looking at it, she's
ready?
like, "Are you sure? Because like I feel like I need to lose bits of it, and
What, of your clothing?
yes, and replace them with denim."
No, this looks very nice.
This is a denim-free zone. Don't do it.
She like sneers at you, and she says, "Latisse said the same thing."
I think it's the juxtaposition between the beautiful gown and the hay bales that makes it so intriguing. So you are making it look more mysterious
I
You look
am.
very nice today.
Oh, well,
in a good
thank
way.
you.
It-
Okay.
oh my gosh.
You're not saying I need a cowboy hat now, are you? Because that like
No.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Side note, I once made so I've done a lot of graphic design. This is Brittany speaking, and I once made some wedding invitations for the sister of a roommate of mine, and the theme was like it was very Western, and she wanted the writing on the invitations to be hot pink, which I thought was a stretch already.
Yeah.
But it turned out they ended up taking the design and making the text black and just printing it on hot pink cardstock instead. And then
This was a wedding?
yeah.
Wow.
I did
And you
not know. I did not know Brett the Hitman Hart was wedding chic.
and
It's
and then
exciting.
they had hot pink cowboy hats for all of the
Ooh,
so
Wow.
Not tacky at all.
wow.
Do you have pictures? Please tell me you have pictures.
no, I wasn't there. I just did
Even the
invitation.
village people would have looked at that and gone like,
I
"Oh,
was
girl."
like, you did what?
I would love to see if they pulled it off because sometimes what sounds super tacky ends up looking incredible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So
Cowboy hats is a stretch though.
Wow.
You could always do a search later on. Super tacky.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, there
Hold
you
on.
go.
Sorry,
at,
ADHD brain is now on a hyperfixation.
so at this point, you guys are kind of in the central room with everybody, you know, like I said, interspersed and talking and whatnot. You're, of course, talking amongst yourselves. Trudy, there is a knock at your door. You're ready at this point. You're just waiting for the call and the music and everything to start.
I will peek out the door.
Okay, it's Daedalus.
Oh, okay. And I'll say, is it time?
It is almost time. I just received word they're going to be starting in about the next 2 minutes.
How is everything going?
Interesting. Your friends apparently held their own better than I had anticipated, given the bevy of important individuals that you have with you.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's no lack of them here tonight.
No, you actually have quite a few. Although you may wish to have a word with your friend Trish. I don't think she was fully prepared for those here. She was rather alarmed. But otherwise, very genuinely polite and nice.
All right, well, hopefully as soon as things get going, everyone will have a good time.
I'm certain they will. You have done a splendid job with the layout. Are you ready?
Guess ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Well, so at that point, you start to hear the music and the call for everybody to come into the central area where the wedding is going to take place. People are getting motion forward. You're coming to find places to sit down. It is like pew seating, but the pew-like seats that they've brought here have much better cushioning than you would normally expect from pews. With new furniture smell, no less. But there are several rows, obviously, and there's people starting to line up and get into position and sit, find places to sit down. So, Trudy, as you are being brought forward, what does Trudy look like? How is Trudy dressed?
It's good timing. I was just getting the pictures for you.
Oh,
So, oh my gosh, that's awful.
Told you she'd find it.
No,
Oh, I found a lot more that are like that. I found
this
some
is
great
not
ones too.
so Trudy is wearing a 50s style, kind of vintagey A-line dress with cap sleeves and one of those little pillbox hat with veil things. Just very vintage looking.
You look like Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh,
So the at this point, everybody is starting to take their place. With at this point, you see Daedalus is actually walking down the aisle with Trudy.
Are we seated, or do we have assigned seating?
There's no assigned seating. You can sit wherever you want within the pews.
I'm going to want to be on an end somewhere. Other than that, I don't care. So I don't
Sure.
know about the rest of the party. I want an end seat.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Of course, Lily is sitting next to Ben, holding his hand.
Okay.
Wait, are you guys together yet? Wait, sorry, that wasn't Haley. And that wasn't Trish. That was Haley. Are you guys not together yet?
Technically, they are not together as of yet.
it's
No,
technically
this-
the night before they
This is
get
the
this.
night before.
this
You
happened
guys haven't
all-
gotten
this
together
happened
yet.
before all
Oh,
of
that's
us.
right.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
not holding his hand.
It's the
You're,
night
you're
before.
gazing longingly at each other.
Yeah, something like that.
That's right.
As
the
the
night
wind
before Trish
brushed
tries
through
to
their
kill
hair.
it, all of us.
The Sedite feels this overwhelming urge to share his path momentarily.
No, no.
But
Trish will
as you
just
were
sit where.
at this point, like I said, Daedalus is actually walking her to the altar and then taking a position near her as somebody who is going to be giving her away. You see sitting up front was towards the very front row is Rebecca and Damascus, and then on the other side, Isabel is sitting with somebody else from the actually with Quan from the family. And then you end up seeing Malcolm come down the row. He has a couple members of his family with him as well, as best men. And he is in a very nice just black suit. There's no white about it outside of some like white buttons that button down. It also has a mandarin collar, and he has a nice overcoat to it.
So it's almost like a Tuesday.
Yeah, yes, it's almost like a Tuesday, more like a Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
For me, it was a Tuesday. And as he approaches, and the music starts to die down. Just before the father begins to initiate the wedding ceremony, you end up hearing a really loud set of pipes outside the ranch house. It goes blah, 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 blah,
Like-
as a
Like,
bike
wait,
is coming
what?
to a stop.
Oh, bikes. I thought you said pipes, and I'm like, what,
Yeah,
like
pipes.
Scottish bagpipes?
No, muffler pipes on a cycle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought
exactly.
of bagpipes too, and I was.
No, I
Because
got
knew
it right
they
away.
just got-
I mean, I'm still confused, but the
Biker
bag.
So do
gang
I.
just showed up.
To my limited male ears, do they sound like glass packs on a cycle?
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
but it definitely a motorcycle. And he is he's about ready to begin as one of the members. Quan actually gets up to go check. And so there was like a brief pause, and then the doors get thrown open as he just gets to them. And you see a woman. She has this really curly hair that kind of comes down. It's very nice, rich brown, hair. She's in a black leather jacket. She's wearing black leather pants. She has a bustier kind of holding up her ample tracts of land. She has some makeup done, mostly just lipstick, and she's giving a slow clap as she's walking down the aisle. Just
Brittany knows who this is, I think, but has Trudy met her?
Oh, Trudy knows her very well. Yes.
Okay.
and so she's like holding out her hands to either side. To Giovanni are kind of looking at her almost with a death glare, for whatever it is she's doing. And she's holding out her hands to to either side. And she says, "Where was my invitation, cousin?" And Dallas is like, "Oh."
Trish is going to lean over to Ben and be like, Ben, who is this? Do we know who this is?
Ben's never seen her, has he? Or is this no? Okay,
Yeah, no clue.
So Trudy
never met her
will
before my time.
Trudy will go back, or will meet her in the aisle and embrace her warmly and kiss her on the cheek and say, "Sasha, I'm so glad that you could come," except in a Texas accent that I forgot.
Right. And so she greets you in a similar manner. At this point, the tension has been diffused in the room a bit, and she says, "Seriously though, you couldn't have given me an invitation? I had to find out third hand?"
I'm sorry, sweetie. There's just been so much going on the last few days, nights. Please have a seat.
And so she kind of like looks around and she does like one of these numbers, sort of like, with her hand. She says, "You may carry on." And just finds a seat and sits down. And like at that, like Rebecca from the front row is like, if her look could kill, she would be Ash. And so you go walking back up front, and Daedalus like leans in and he says, "I had no idea that she would be attending. I am very sorry for this interruption."
I'm actually quite touched that she would decide to come.
Family. And so the father is like looking back, back and forth, and he says, "May we continue?"
Please.
Maybe.
Oui. So he begins with the, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but he, goes through the "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of Almighty God to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony. Not to be entered lightly, holy matrimony should be entered into solemnly and with reverence and honor. Unto this holy agreement, these two persons come together to be joined. And if any person here can show cause why these two people should not be joined in holy matrimony, speak up now and forever hold your peace." And like everybody in the front row turns and looks at Sasha. You're like because of the way she entered, they're expecting her to say something. She starts going like this.
Man, I got to tell you, that ceiling is incredibly attractive. You should see it.
And so they, when, despite the fact that, she quietly gave them her opinion, nobody else says anything. And at that point, it continues. When they get to the before they actually get to the exchange, obviously they exchange vows and they're very lovely. And before they get to the ring, placing the ring on each other's finger, They also take a moment. Malcolm bites his wrist, and Trudy bites hers, and they hold their wrist up to one another to partake in each other's blood, to supernaturally seal the deal in that sense. And at that point, then the rings are placed on each other's fingers. And the wedding at that point is concluded. You are now husband and wife. Please congratulate, Mr. and Mrs. Velanese.
Trish immediately starts to clap, and it like stands up.
Okay. I, of course, others follow suit and start clapping, and and lost for words, but yeah, they are they are clapping and approving of this union at this point. And with that, everybody starts to get up and they start to mingle at this point. The father says that there will be refreshments out by the barn, as well as music. So please, everybody, congregate there and enjoy your time.
Revis heads out.
And at this point, she comes walking up to the well, Revis has already gotten up and started to walk out, but
Yeah,
so
I'll go introduce him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go and greet all the anarchs, and I'll bring Sasha over. I'll say, thanks for coming, everyone. This is Sasha, Clan Bruja. She's the she was the
she put the hand on your shoulder. She says, "Honey, I've got this." She says, "My uncle is his daddy."
I said I actually did laugh.
Okay.
Her.
My uncle is his daddy.
Her daddy.
Her daddy.
Speaking about Trudy, yes, her uncle
is
her.
Yeah,
No,
it tells you that
Sasha's uncle is
Trudy's,
my character's
daddy, sire.
Yes.
Okay.
Which puts Sasha roughly 2 generations further down the stream. Roughly.
Freaking pronouns.
Trish
is kind of like it's kind of like behind everybody a little bit, she's like not making a big deal out of anything, but she's just kind of a couple of steps behind.
Okay.
Are you still in California?
She says, she's like, looks around. She says, "No, actually, I'm in Oregon right now."
Trudy will like slap her on the shoulder, like, "What a great joke."
Yeah, she says, "No, I'm actually roaming the countryside, as it were. I'm sure you're aware San Francisco isn't quite the hippest place it could be anymore."
Yeah, so I've heard. Daedalus has also decided to join us here in Ashland.
I see. And Uncle Daedalus didn't tell me anything about this either. I'm going to have to take that up with him. She says, but before that, she says, "Why don't you introduce me to this tall glass of water standing next to you?" And motions to Benjamin.
This is
Ben with the ladies.
This is Mr. Benjamin. He's the sweeper here.
Oh, important.
Little green appears.
Good to have some more Bruja blood in town, even for a little bit.
Oh, who said it's for a little bit?
Well, you're the one who's just traveling. You gonna stick around for a while?
I could be persuaded.
I mean, that could be good. We got some fights lined up in the future with bad guys up north.
Interesting.
Benjamin, you know you can call them what they are. She's Bruja. They're Sabat.
Oh, I'm sure she knows. I'm sure everybody here knows by now.
Well, there's no need to be polite then.
Well, I've heard a rumor or two.
Yeah, well, they're probably all true, and there's probably more that are even more true. Just a bunch of scumbags up there. They've been having their way with us here and there. Even took one of our own, kidnapped. So we got some work to do.
Interesting. And so she looks around to the others. She says, Trudy, are you going to introduce me?
Mr. Revis here. He's fairly new to town.
Revis Sargon, Clan Sedite. A pleasure to meet you.
Well, I haven't met many clan Setites. At least haven't met many that I don't like.
Well, there's been a minor reform movement, and the older ones that are left are suitably leaning in that direction.
Oh, I see. So not the party animals that I'm used to.
Well, it does happen.
Noted.
This is Miss Lily.
Lily Adams, Clan Tremere.
Well, how are you doing?
Fine.
This is Miss Trish.
That was Haley laughing.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Trish. Oh, Toreador.
Oh, interesting.
Why?
Usually Toreadors are the light of the room.
Oh, she is definitely that.
Wait, what?
She's been known to set herself on fire a time or two.
Wait,
Well, I
I
didn't
feel like
mean like
everybody's
that.
talking about something different now.
You are the life of the party.
What parties have you been going to, my dear?
The same ones as you.
I think I'm just the loudest in the party. It's very nice to meet you. You made quite an entrance yourself.
Yes, well, I'm also good for funerals. If you happen to need any more entrances,
Trudy starts laughing.
Trudy would probably remember that one.
Memorable.
Wait, this is a Haley moment. Is this the same chick from Kindred?
Yep.
Okay, now I totally have. I had a vision in my head that was, and then that was okay. Cool,
Yes.
we're good.
And this is our friend, Miss Sansa.
She'll extend her hand. It's nice to meet you. I like what you did.
Oh, well, thank you. Not many people do. But I'll take compliments where I can get them.
Yep.
She says, you're not like the others.
No, according to them, I'm less than a peon.
Oh,
She-
come now.
She kind of like looks
I'm going to look
around.
at Revis when I say that.
Okay. Yeah, she kind of like looks around and she says, that's not very anarchish.
Oh, I'm a sorcerer. I'm not technically an anarch.
Oh. Well,
She's
aren't you
been
just
adopted.
socializing with everybody now, Trudy?
Well, they all have their great talents.
To be fair, I think I kind of invited myself. You know, who else? How often do you get to attend a vampire wedding? You know.
Speaking of the
Not
wedding,
often.
that's,
Seeing as this is probably only the second in several hundred years.
So yes,
it
good
was a very
opportunity.
nice ceremony.
It was. I'm surprised
It was
how
very nice.
how how much I recognized things. I expected things to be very different.
Oh, you were expecting what? Blade 2?
No. I just was expecting something different. I'm surprised how Christian it was.
Sonai chokes at that point, looks back to the ceiling.
Yeah,
Well,
Lily just
so,
shakes her head.
The Giovanni are a very Catholic family.
And she just
Well.
kind of like, she shrugs and nods. She says, depending upon which branch, but yeah, that checks.
Inquisition, probably.
Well,
Yes.
congratulations, Trudy. How does it feel to be a
Yes.
married woman?
Again.
So this is more than one? Like, how many times have you been married,
Well,
Trudy?
all right.
She's
Well,
all screaming.
I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Technically speaking, the first time was before.
Okay.
Hence my son Bobby, who is probably making himself scarce, seeing as how many Giovanni are about tonight.
How is he making himself scarce?
Is this Jerome asking or Sasha?
Sasha.
He's a wraith deer.
He's a ghost.
Hmm.
How did you pull that? No, you know what? You're around Giovanni. Never mind. I'm sure there's some beauty behind that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And the second time was mostly just technical, and it was to my ghoul at the time, because women at that point in history were not especially welcome in the boardroom, and gave me access to business dealings that I otherwise would not. So
To a marriage of convenience.
yes, quite.
Does that really count then? It's just more like a contract.
Well,
Go figure.
isn't all weddings, marriages a contract?
Depends on what you believe.
I thought they were partnerships, but that could just be me.
At least this time I love the groom. So
There you go.
third
So-
time's the charm, right?
We can just say
Lily's-
this is the real one then. All the rest of
Lily's-
them were fake.
It's very romantic.
Lily's going to kind of tug on Ben's arm a bit, and she's going to whisper to him, "You should talk to her new husband about Cindy."
Right.
That
Yeah.
hasn't happened either yet. Just keep in mind. The
Right?
resurrection.
No, because we think
No,
we
at
think,
this time he wants
Yeah.
to get a thing to
Yeah,
do
Yeah.
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
we think we might have the tether, but
Right.
Mhm.
That's right. At this point, we think that she's. I mean, at this point, she's just a wraith.
yeah.
Right.
Did you bring the bracelet?
Yeah, actually, just I did want to talk to him. I wanted the marriage to happen first. So then
Well, why don't y'all sit tight? I'll go find Malcolm. Sasha, I'd love to introduce you to. I'll be right back. And so I'll go find Malcolm and bring him back to the group.
Okay.
Well, I'll probably kiss him first and then bring him back to the group.
Important
While
details.
she's away, I'm gonna look at the group at large and be like, "Wait, have any of the rest of you been married?"
No.
Beaver just
Sansa
kind of
nods.
looks at her with knowing eyes and goes, "Which 100-year period are we talking about?"
Well, collectively, like your life is your life. I did not put parameters on the question.
Well, we kind of tend to put parameters on the question depending on which century it's in and which religion we're marrying under and how many
Well,
wives they allow.
You're talking to me, so come up with a number.
About
Lily,
6.
have you 6?
Yeah, about 6.
I actually expected that number to be significantly higher. Um, Lily, have you been married before?
No, I never had time for stuff like that.
Ben,
Said I'd mutter something about no surprise.
were
I
you
have.
married to
She's
Cindy's
just gonna
mom?
look at the Setite.
Trish is starting fights.
I was, yeah, Cindy's mom. It's a long time ago. Didn't work out.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
It
And
happens. People change.
And Sansa, you said you've been married, right?
Um, yeah, I'm divorced actually. I've a very healthy relationship with my ex.
So
But
you're
he
still
lives
sleeping together?
overseas. No. He's in a different country. That would be very difficult.
Oh,
No,
Hey.
I am divorced about 15 years now.
Hmm.
2 kids.
That's
Boys.
exciting. Do you have grandbabies?
Um, Not a character. Do I have grandbabies or not yet?
I
Um,
let you decide that. I mean,
You roll the
yeah, I
dice.
didn't put that in the background, but that would make sense based on
Roll
her
the
age.
dice and find out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
pull
why
up the
they call
Cyberpunk
yes.
life path.
Life path.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I have 2 grandbabies, boy and a girl.
I always thought it would be fun to be a grandma.
To be fair, I don't feel any different. They've got good parents and good guidance, and I'm over here dealing with vampires, so they're a lot safer.
Between you and me, I think
Revis
you
just
got the
kind of
better
looks
part
at
of
her
the
and goes
deal.
like, parenting's the same no matter what species you are.
Mhm. I suppose.
You have children, you raise them properly, they grow up to be responsible, mostly. You know, children will be children and they act up periodically and need to be disciplined.
Mm. Luckily, I don't know any of that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Can you
I'm sure
see
it'll
me?
come to you.
Can
Could
be
you
a
see me
blessing.
as a
Powerful
mother?
women like the two of you will, of course, have your fair share of children and glory in their growth.
Could you see me as a mother?
No.
Yes, actually, I knew a couple in. No, never mind.
Do you seriously think that I could be a mother?
Sure.
Interesting.
Well, you have to understand, my perspective is different than yours. I've seen some moms you wouldn't consider moms. They're still moms. They love their children. There's not much more criteria than that. It's pretty simple. You know, people want to make more out of it, but basically, if you love your kids, you're a mom. It's
So
pretty simple.
what if you have children and you don't love them? Then are you not a mother or a father?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I'll use dads as an example. How many deadbeat dads have to be dragged into court as mortals? Because even mortal society doesn't think they're appropriate.
I had one of those.
So
No.
are they not dads anymore then?
I don't think they were dads to begin with. If you run away
Mine's-
from raising your children and won't give them $1 to make their life easier, you're telling me that's a dad?
So a mom
Mine's-
that does the same isn't a mom anymore?
Is there a double standard that I missed?
I think moms are always moms and dads are always dads. What they choose to do with that is their own.
I'm sorry. I'm going to differ on that.
Yeah,
I've seen some
me
kids
too.
that found moms and dads completely outside of their bloodlines.
Found
Much-
family's totally different.
No, it's not.
I'm actually have to agree with Revis, but I don't have to worry about
What?
my father. He's no longer breathing.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their viewpoint, and I understand you have your Christian morality. you're welcome to it. But in some areas, you're blind.
By your perspective. By someone else's, I'm not.
Well, there you go.
From a certain point of view.
Some women don't deserve the title.
Reeves is sitting back wondering how many vampires with big ears have been sitting listening to this conversation, absolutely riveted with humor.
None of which that are letting on.
We're too low on their, status poll for them to care.
Oh,
And so
you are
Trudy
so
comes walking
wrong.
back at this point with her now husband, Malcolm. Some of you have met him, some of you have not. Malcolm is also a rather tall individual,
Makes
a
it
body that with a body that he's well built, but not like took TRT or roid like that, chiseled sort of look. Like he's worked hard for most of his life, so he's solidly built. He has
It looks like an Idaho farm boy, not Captain America.
Yeah, but imagine him looking more European with very long black hair. For those of you looking for a visual, Ian Nottingham from the early comic books of Witchblade is very much what he looks like.
Okay.
And so he's following Trudy in tow.
Congratulations on your nuptials.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was
I'm
obviously
Lily.
a bit
I'm
of a
Lily
rush.
No. I'm Lily Adams, by the way, from Clan Tremere. It's nice to meet you finally.
Reeves steps up and bows slightly to the bride and extends his congratulations to the groom. It's a pleasure to see you and see the two of you together. I hope you do well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Steps
Oh.
back.
Also, FYI, in case you are not familiar, Malcolm is the local Don.
Of the Giovanni, yes.
Right.
Sansa will step forward and extend her hand and congratulations. I'm Sansa de Vittorio. It's nice to meet you.
He nods politely. Yeah, I just heard about you from Isabel.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here. Just no idea what to say to this man.
She has been in town for a short time, but has already made herself indispensable.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Trish, and it's such a pleasure to meet you. I could not believe that Miss Trudy decided to keep you a secret from us, especially me. And she gives her a look like we are Southern sisters. But it's wonderful to meet you.
Oh, well, thank you. We did keep most of this under wraps for certain reasons. Most of it just be Trudy wishing to be prudent. But not because she desired to offend anybody, obviously.
And I'm not embarrassed by you either.
Well, I mean, you could be. I would understand why you would
usually. Not usually.
Even when I make zombies dance?
Wait, do you literally mean that like in real life?
We can, yes. I'm not going to do that at our wedding. That would be rather tacky.
Sorry, I should never tell when people are being serious.
Latisse would have kittens.
I'm certain she would, yes. No, it is. It's sometimes a joke within the family that those capable with necromancy will attempt to make the recently deceased dance at a special event. My understanding is some of the younger crowd who are more adept with necromancy have attempted some of the more modern music with glow sticks. It's interesting. If you
Dance macabre. Yep. Must be talking about raves. Raves have glow sticks.
Correct.
Is that how the Michael Jackson video came about?
No, hon. That was something entirely different, but close enough.
Malcolm, it's good to see you again. Congratulations, obviously.
So, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, it was rather thrown together, but I'm glad it all came together. Most of that, all Trudy's doing.
You have a very capable woman, Miss Trudy.
Yes, I do.
So, hey, Malcolm, if I can borrow you for a minute, I got a question regarding, I guess, necromancy and spirits and things. You got a minute?
Of course, we're not opposed to doing business at a wedding. That never seems to stop.
I'll
It's quite all right.
I'll lead whoever else wants to go get some refreshments.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
Happily,
meet
happily
the rest
follow
of you
the bride
outside then?
along.
Yep, I'll follow the bride.
Yep.
Okay. So he just motions with you to follow him off to the side somewhere.
Yep.
So what's on your mind, Mr. Baxter?
So, a little bit of a background here. Decades ago, before I was what I am now, I had a daughter, and she was killed. Found out recently that she's in the Shadowlands now, trying to be safe. And, well, asking around, I managed to find out that it's possible to get a fetter, like a thing that a wraith can connect to, I guess, to, I don't know, bring them out of the Shadowlands or something like that. And I was hoping for your help. I actually have a bracelet of hers, and he pulls out the bracelet, and he's like,
Okay.
it seems like there might be something to it. I don't know how that all works. What can you tell me?
He says, well, fetters are emotional attachment items would be the best way to summarize it. They are not necessarily articles of clothing, but they can be. Sometimes they are locations. Sometimes they are larger pieces of equipment. Like, for example, somebody very passionate about racing. Maybe they happen to like their bike or their vehicle of some form, and they're really drawn to it. Something that helped keep them tied to this world when they passed on. So they did not go on to whatever great forever that other people would like to spin, but it kept them unresolved and formed into a wraith.
Okay. So I've been told that her being in the Shadowlands, she's like on the run, like others are trying to get her. So I'm trying to keep her safe. Like if I have this thing, if it can be a fetter, is it possible to get her out of the Shadowlands using this thing, or how does that work?
Somewhat, yes. The fetters are, think of it in a sense, they're almost like apartments for wraiths. They can withdraw from the world that they are in and reside within a fetter, like you and I might lay in a bed and recharge for the day.
Okay.
So the more fetters they have, the higher degree chance that they have of recovery. And the less that they have, obviously the less anchors that they have to the world, and means their destruction is probably going to be imminent soon.
Okay. Well, since that's the case, then I guess time is of the essence. I don't have a lot, but I mean, I'm willing to do what it takes to get her out of that situation and find out if this can be a fetter for her or whatever. Is there any way you can help me do that?
Well, I can tell you it's already a fetter. I don't know if it's her specifically. I don't know the individual you're speaking about.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my daughter, Cindy, I gave this to her. When she was a kid.
Then it's likely her fetter.
Okay. All right. Cooking gas. Yeah. What can we do? Is there anything that we can do to have her like connect with it, or
She'll already have a connection with it. That's one of the reasons why it's a fetter. It's important for you to keep it safe
okay?
because it is also a means. Let's put this in unscrupulous context. Somebody like me with that fetter could then use it to control her, or somebody with my powers.
He goes ahead and then like slowly like pockets the thing again. Just like, right. Just hold on to that then.
Think of it along the lines of the rumor I'm certain that you've heard of for a lot of Tremere. Don't ever give your blood to the Tremere because they can do X, Y, or Z. It's the same sort of premise. The difference is obviously you're not burning up the fetter. The fetter will always be something you can retain to either control or manipulate or protect.
Shh, don't tell him that.
Okay.
There.
Yeah. So then, if she's in the Shadowlands, it's not like she can pop in and out. I don't think she can. It seems like she's on the run from someone. Is there any way that you know of that I could help her? I didn't know if the fetter helps with that or anything.
The fetter can assist, yes. There are ways to bring them across, but they're still raids.
Right.
Some raids do have the capability of doing it themselves. Some have the limited capability. I'm certain you've heard of all the ghost stories where something moves mysteriously. They have limited effect of affecting the tangible world that we know.
Okay. Is there any way to do what you do and reach out so that she can connect to it? Because I mean, apparently she can't like make herself known. I've already talked to a few who, yeah, they've got wraith or ghost friends who can just go wherever they want to go. I don't think she's one of those though.
That all depends upon a number of factors. What you're asking here for is for intervention within the political parties within the Shadowlands, and I'm not currently at liberty to do such a thing. As you are probably aware, just by the fact that we're speaking about raids, we do not have the best public standing within that realm. It's already a violation for them to interact with our world.
Right.
My kind are effectively their boogeymen.
Huh. Okay then. Well, can't say I'm not disappointed, but I get it. It's, dang. All right.
But if it helps, I will put out the word to some of our family on that side and see if they can keep their eyes and ears open.
I appreciate it. Anything you can do.
Of course.
All right. Well, thanks. I guess they'll meet up with the ladies and Revis, see if they got in any more trouble.
Please enjoy the party.
So Ben heads off and looks for the rest of the group.
Okay.
Ben is disappointed.
So does it show that he's kind of disappointed as he walks closer?
If you're looking in his aura, yeah.
She's always looking at his aura.
So not going there.
Oh my.
She'll walk up and meet Ben. I take it wasn't a good conversation?
I mean, good to know, I guess, but can't really do anything. It's a weird Shadowland politics thing, and they're not even allowed to try to go into that and get her or anything. The bracelet is her fetter, but not like that does anything.
What? Doesn't it do something? I mean, I thought that's how they connect to this side.
Apparently it is, but not all wraiths can just kind of pop in and out whenever they want, and the only way to reach out would be through the Giovanni doing their thing, and they're saying
What's that? Go ahead and
not
Dave.
able to get into that. There's a whole politic thing with the Shadowlands.
Ben, you might want not to have this conversation here, where like half the population can hear you from a quarter mile away.
Right. Yeah. Good point. Anyway, it's a no-go.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, I hope so. So, yeah, what's going on here? It's the topic of conversation.
I think we got
Trudy's
off.
dress.
Yeah, there we go. Trudy's dress, much safer than how many marriages you had.
Hey, that was a safe question. All
No, it
y'all
wasn't.
decided to like get all weird with it. No, Trudy, your dress is absolutely stunning. Now, is it a vintage, like real kind of like 50s, or did you have it
No.
newly made?
Seeing as the wedding was a bit of short notice, we had to do what we could with what we could find around town. Unfortunately.
It's not as vintage as she would have liked.
Well, it's beautiful.
I'm less fussy about that sort of thing than my dear friend Latisse over there. So,
Did you guys do wedding gifts for each other? Did he buy you a Brunelli?
Sansa just kind of smacks her head. That's what I forgot. I am so sorry,
Don't
Miss
worry, I
Trudy.
didn't bring anything. I don't have anything either. It's okay.
Totally forgot your gift.
I am not concerned. Your
But this
pre-
is a polite thing to do.
your presence is the present.
That's what I'm
She
talking
laughs
about.
at that
Oh,
BS statement right there.
that was awful and wonderful at the same time.
You know, Malcolm is a very difficult man to shop for.
What do you get somebody who has everything?
Mm.
And he just kind of
You're s-
nods.
Yourself. You give
Yourself.
him yourself.
Wrapped in a bow with nothing else.
He did that
Right.
once actually.
Oh, he did? Oh, that's horrifying. That was a joke.
He says,
Huh.
"No, I was actually in a box."
Oh, why do I keep freezing? Okay.
So that gives him two man points.
I think that falls under the category of TMI.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about the box. I said it was a box. So I don't know how TMI that is to be in a box, but okay.
Well,
Yeah.
did you just have a bow on while you were in the box?
You
We're
just said it was
we're gonna
TMI. And you're
leave it.
asking
Yeah,
Well,
me questions.
We're
yeah.
gonna leave it at
Instead, I
that.
was looking at her like, you just went TMI and now you want to know the details. Yeah, right.
I'm a woman.
Trudy will lean over and say, "I'll tell you about it later."
Okay.
Why is every question I ask tonight getting twisted? Mm,
Because you're with a bunch of anarchs.
that
Trudy,
is true.
Trudy will turn to Malcolm and say, do I still get to be an anarch? Am I independent now? How does this
No,
all work?
you're still who you are. You just have a new title is all. You're still going to be an anarch. Why would you not be an anarch?
I don't know how this.
Isn't there a
Works.
married couple anarch like Sophie and Colin or whatnot? I mean, they didn't suddenly become independent because they got married, right?
Well, humans don't exactly work that way.
Yeah, they don't have clans.
Well, right, but you don't
Wait.
cease to become
happened to
American
Kentucky?
because you got married to somebody who came to the country, right?
Wait, hold on. The Baron is married to a human?
You didn't
didn't know
know
that?
that?
No. I have
Yeah.
met Sophie a total of 2 times.
Oh,
Her
Yeah.
Oh.
her marriage preferences was not something that came up, not like tonight.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It was the scandal of the century.
That
That's
would
saying a
be
lot
very
considering some of the
First of all,
scandals.
They eloped.
First of all, that vampires generally don't marry in the first place, but
This is true.
she married a human. Although he is a sorcerer, and I believe he's
So he's like our Sansa, so not really human. I
You
mean,
look
I
at
didn't
benefits.
mean it like
Think about that
that.
for a
I meant,
second.
Oh,
I
Sonny
meant-
walks over and gives her a high five.
Oh.
Well done. Well done.
Like,
I mean, humans
not
are
all
you-
sorcerers are created equal.
and Trudy will turn to Malcolm and say, "Isn't she adorable?"
Trish is just gonna kind of
It is so
take you're
fun.
like, I need a minute, and she's gonna like go walk
It
away.
is so fun to have someone so young around here.
She's older than a lot of you. She just doesn't know jack squat.
And then as Trish goes storming off, you feel your phone vibrate.
Who? Everyone?
No, you. Trish
Me?
feels her phone vibrate.
Oh.
Not Trish. Everybody's phone vibrates. That's like the Ghostbusters. Listen, do you smell something?
You smell something? Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Trish will pull her phone out and look at it.
Okay. It's a number you don't identify, and it says, "Can we talk?"
Uh-oh.
New phone. Who dis?
Cool.
Uh-huh,
She's just
yeah.
gonna respond with a question mark.
Okay, so the message comes back with a question mark, and the comment says, "Did I forget punctuation?"
She's just gonna text back and say, "Who is this?" Because all the rest of you guys are programmed.
So he just so the comment comes up, and it's with a J.
She finds the closest chair and sits down
Okay.
and kind of stares at the phone for a second. Eventually, like probably after 2 full minutes, she texts back and she says, "What do you want?"
To talk.
About?
Life.
The universe.
And everything.
It's who I think it is, right?
Well, ask if you're uncertain.
Do not make assumptions.
Jeremy.
Okay, you get a thumbs up emoji.
How did you get this number?
Yeah, we're getting there. Actually, let's go there first. Okay, I was going to go a different direction, but I like that question better. First, how did you get this number?
A guy gave it to me. Some new guy.
Okay, she's going to call him.
Okay. So,
I love that
you're
face.
calling him then?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, he picks up and he says, "Oh, hey, I wasn't expecting you to call. I thought you were just going to keep texting."
Are you serious right now?
Okay. Slow down a second. That was a serious question.
Okay. Okay. Let me explain to you how this works. You don't get to chase me for 30 years and then out of the blue text me and say, "Hey, can we talk?"
Okay, that's fair. But we're talking right now.
What do you want?
Well, like I said, I want to talk about just life. I want to talk to you.
No. What do you want?
I
I
want to.
think I made it very clear. I'm not interested. You are a Sabat. You and your clan
Right.
tried to kill me.
Well, in
No,
fairness, I mean, it's a little bit more extenuating circumstances than you understand. But on the surface, you
you
are absolutely
seriously
correct.
no. You seriously want to try and talk back trying to kill me multiple times?
If you understood, yeah. I know it doesn't make much sense.
How about coming after me when I was with a group of people and you had an entire group that tried to like muscle your way in?
Well, right.
How do you hawk that back? Why didn't you text me then?
I was being watched.
By what? Almighty God?
Well, technically, yeah. I mean, you still believe that
All
now
right, that
too.
was not a good question to ask. Sorry. But who's watching you?
My ductus. Oh, right. So you probably don't know what. So the ductus is like a local leader. Geez, how to put this? Like your direct manager at a fast food restaurant.
Your supervisor?
It, a little more religious, but yeah. I mean, I guess since we're trying to paint a visual.
Okay, so what do you want?
You're in a lot of danger. I would rather you get out.
This coming from you. All right. Okay.
Do you think I asked to be this?
Do you think I did?
Why do you think I'm calling you?
You couldn't have figured out a different way to contact me, 30 years ago?
You don't understand what it's like being with these people.
You don't understand what it's like being alone.
I would rather that right about now.
Jerome, out of context for a second, how loud has she gotten?
Oh, she's like yelling at him.
Okay, yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
All right. Instead, I just
So
kind of
it
pivots.
with the music
and-
playing, it's not like the whole crowd can hear it. But if somebody was like glancing over that direction, yeah, I mean, you'd probably hear and see it.
He's just going to kind of elbow Ben and go, something's going on.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna check that out. So Ben starts walking over towards where Trish is.
Okay. So Trish, go ahead and continue.
So what? You would rather not be in your situation? Whoopee do.
Wow. Did you ever stop to think that I'm the reason why you've been on the run in the other way around? Think about it. How many people did you see with me? You don't think they could have gotten you by now?
What are you talking about?
And you hear like some ruffling and whatnot. Hold on. And then you hear him say, "Yes, I'm ordering Chinese. It's gonna, they said 30 minutes or less. Yes, I made sure to order enough that they're going to have 2 people coming." And so he gets, do you hear like the sound of like, muffling and whatnot on the phone again? And he comes back and he says, "Okay, I'm back." Think
All right,
about
then
it.
what's
You on the run, knowing nothing.
I wouldn't say nothing. I've learned quite a lot.
Oh, now you have. Think about it. How many did you see me with?
I don't know, like
A
5?
lot. I mean, you don't have to put an exact number on it. significantly
So
more
what,
than you.
So you're trying to say that you've been protecting me for the last 30 years?
Trying to.
So many shades of that does not make sense.
Okay, fine. I admit, face value doesn't look good.
So then what are you protecting me from?
Them,
Who is them?
my pack.
What do they want with me? If what you are saying is the truth.
Probably to club you over the head with a gigantic snow shovel, bury you, and then make you one of us.
Isn't that what they want to do with everybody?
No.
What? But why?
About this time, Lily's going to start walking towards Trish.
Okay, so yeah, so at this point, you've got Benjamin almost next to you, and you can see Lily is starting to get up and walk over this direction now.
Trudy is going to try to draw the attention of other people of the important people,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Wait.
they're not right.
Gotcha. Good cover. Good cover.
Maybe she's just kind of going to drift in Trudy's wake, helping her to divert
Distract.
whatever she's doing. Going like,
Distract.
he realizes he's not really an effective tool when it comes to Christian toreadors.
Because there's so many of us.
Well, if he weren't Christian, he'd have a good time.
There are
Toreadors have
more
fun.
than you think.
Yeah.
Trish is just going to look up and it's not in this area.
She wasn't-
Trish is going to look up at Ben and Lily, just kind of acknowledge that they're there.
Okay.
So
She's
she's
gonna
like,
kind of mouth, "Are you okay?"
And Ben's going to start using his heightened senses to see if he can hear whatever the other line is saying, too.
Sure. I'm not going to make
Yeah.
you roll for it. Yeah, you can hear.
Yeah, Lily's doing the same thing. She's curious.
everybody's just listening on this conversation now.
Nope.
Big
Oh, no.
ears.
Sansa turns up her hearing
not
aid.
happening.
Hearing aid. No, she just takes another drink.
Right.
She's like, I don't even care about you people. Um,
Some good Italian wine here.
Yeah,
so
there is actually.
there is food for the peoples.
Nice.
Figured.
Trish is gonna okay, so Jeremy, you need to start making a little bit more sense.
I'm kind of limited.
Do you want to talk like face to face?
I'd
On
rather
my-
not. I'd rather not die if that's okay.
I think if I invited you, I don't think anybody'd kill you. But it
No,
has to
I'm
be under
ordering sweet and
specific.
sour with that. Yes, I'll get teriyaki. Good Lord.
Okay, why do they want me?
Outside of fresh meat, you're wonderful to torment.
That literally makes no sense.
You don't know how they operate. Plus, you've got like some acting skills and whatnot, so you would work out great for the whole soap opera gimmick that they've got.
So they've been chasing me for 30 years so that I could join their soap opera?
Well, that, yeah, that too. Or at least just to test you, and if you don't pass it, then you die. Just ask some of your friends. Think about it. I'm sure there's got to be somebody there that understands our gimmicks, I guess. Better than that. I can't go into full detail right now because I think you understand why.
Trish, ask him about Damaris.
Do you guys have my friend Damaris? Yes or no?
Yes.
Can we come and get her?
No.
Can you deliver her to us?
No.
Can you do anything other than say no?
30 minutes or less. Absolutely.
Why are you still with them? If you've actually been trying to protect me, why didn't you just leave and come with me?
I'm too tied.
I don't believe that.
I know that there's more people there that can verify this sort of thing.
Ben taps Trish on the shoulder. They do travel around in packs. They tend to be tight-knit. If he can get away from them for an hour, then I'll join you and we'll talk to him face to face, see if he's lying.
Oh, yeah, and Lily's like nodding. Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Jeremy?
What?
Okay. Can you get away for an hour?
Uh,
Can you say instead of being able to deliver, there's something wrong, you have to go pick up the order?
Yeah, guys. I'd probably get more out of this if I went and picked up. Okay. Yeah, I know how to defeat a security camera. It's not difficult. No, I'm not going to obfuscate in front of it. That's just stupid. It doesn't work. So I'm good to take the car for like an hour or two. God,
Wait,
I can't
do
believe
you-
I have to ask this. Ugh.
Where-
Okay.
Ben,
Yeah,
Ben,
so
where-
switch that order from delivery to pickup, and I'll be there shortly.
Ben, where do I tell him to go?
He tells her to go to, let's see.
If you put it within that window, you're going to have to do some traveling, which
Yeah.
means at this point you're probably going to have to go like Medford-ish.
Okay. In front of the Dewdrop Inn at Medford.
In front of the Dewdrop Inn in Memphis.
Okay.
Meet me there.
You're
I'm
gonna-
bringing people, but you better not have anybody with you or there will be hell to pay. Do you understand me?
You better bring a cover story.
I have many things that can cover and stories, so we're fine.
I'm going to need delivery.
What about DiGiorno?
Is there a Chinese place around here? She's looking at between Ben and Lily.
I don't eat out.
He's also going to need people. That's what he's actually getting.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
He Ben pulls out his phone and like looks on Google to see
Look
if
at
there's like a Chinese place in Medford
Oh,
around the
100%.
Dewdrop
Wait, are
Inn.
they
Okay.
Yeah.
are they ordering Chinese people?
No,
Are
they're
you ordering Chinese people?
There. Oh.
God, I want to say something so bad.
Ben turns to Lily. God, she really is new. This is crazy.
You would, and I think
Remember,
she's
she's vegan.
almost as old as I am.
Yeah.
if not a
Hey,
little bit younger.
Hey, we can have this discussion here in a few moments. Respect your elders. Shush. Okay. All right, we will just text me exactly what you need and we will have everything. We'll have the cover
Okay.
story, we'll have whatever. But I swear to you, Jeremy, if you show up with somebody with you, I will stake you through the heart.
I understand.
We'll just
Okay.
outright kill them all.
And I have friends that say they'll kill you too. So like it's the whole thing. I'm gonna hang up now. I
Okay.
will see you in an hour.
He hangs
And
up.
she hangs up the phone. And then immediately drops it and bursts into sobs. I don't know. Can vampires cry?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
they-
can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why, but they
Okay,
just-
she
She's gonna have-
immediately
Yeah, but they
she
don't have
drops
water.
it and immediately
Yeah,
starts
they
No,
don't have
sobbing.
water in it. They
I know,
tear
and her
blood.
dress is going to get covered in blood, and it's going to be a whole problem. Okay.
Lily's gonna sit down beside her and just, try to comfort her.
You know, you could probably take her inside in the house. There are rooms.
Well, we've got to go. She's going to kind of like you could do the comforting thing, which is like gonna kind of push it away and just be like, if we have an hour, we have to leave. And we apparently have to go pick up some Chinese people because they like to eat Chinese.
Right. Let's figure this out. Ben pulls out his phone and texts the rest of the group who's here, hey, meet us in the parking lot. We've got some work to do.
I'm okay to stay on a little bit longer, by the way.
Yeah, I was about ready to ask that because I looked at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay, so we get out to the whatever. Who's all coming? Reeves, and she goes specifically to Revis and looks at you with the big doe blue eyes that she has. And she's like, will you come? Because I know you'll protect me. I know Ben will too, but like, you have a tendency to take anybody's bullshit. The word kind of like sounds weird coming out of her mouth.
Rios just kind of looks at you and he goes, I give you my word. And then he
Thank
pulls
you.
out his phone while we're getting in the car. And what do you got going, Ben? What needs to be covered?
Chinese people. We have to get Chinese people.
We're headed to Medford in front of the Dewdrop Inn. We need to get Chinese food. Let's see. He mentioned teriyaki as well.
Does he
Enough for
text
several
me?
people. And there's going to be
Yeah,
at
he texts
least
you.
2 humans that
Like the order?
are going to want to drink from.
Yeah, just
Is
2
somebody
people.
gonna tell
Okay.
Trudy that they're leaving?
Well,
I
you
would
got-
have told her.
You did
I would
get
have
the
said
text.
there's an issue.
You would have got
Trudy
the
doesn't have her phone on her.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Revis would have dealt with telling her there was an issue, and
Okay.
he'll periodically send a text of
And
a simple
Trudy
alphanumeric.
Trudy will tell Revis if they need tools that he should see Mr. Cronin before they leave.
Okay.
Sansa will get up, but she's going to part ways with you guys in the parking lot. I'm not going to go with this one. No offense.
That's okay.
It's okay. I understand. It's fine.
But if you need help later, you've got my number. So.
Yeah, we've got everything happening tomorrow too. So
Yeah, save up your strength for tomorrow night.
Indeed.
Between
Dun, dun, dun.
me and Ben, do we have enough resources, allies, and etc. to cover what's needed?
Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before that we didn't have to pull anything else in.
No,
But-
yeah.
By tools, I meant weapons.
Oh, Lily
Revis is aware of what you were talking about because he's going to obtain his wrench from the front check-in on the way out.
Okay.
Lily left hers in the car.
Okay.
all right. I guess everybody's here. We better head out.
So we pile in cars and head to the Dewdrop Inn.
Okay.
Who's going to get the people? Because Hell's knows it's not going to be Trish.
We will. That's
So
a point.
Ben,
We'll,
you
we'll
end up
s-
you end up getting a text back.
Oh, take a look.
It says, "Got y'all's people."
Is this from Danny? Okay.
Yep.
Who put him on the text chat?
Yeah, seriously. Oh wait,
We
did
did-
that happen
we
a
did
couple
look
of
out
episodes
the car.
ago?
Vampires only.
Revis just kind of looks out the car.
No
and
cat.
Nothing.
No humans.
Wait, that means no Sensa.
Well, technically, I'm not human, I guess.
Oh no, you're sorceress. You're not human.
Acts like he doesn't have a business arrangement supplying them on the side. That was acknowledged by Trudy.
I didn't realize we had him.
Well,
in
you,
our
you
group.
technically don't. If you're just trying to speed things up and you're trying to access resources or whatnot, that would be the quickest way to do it. It's like
Yeah, it's good.
they know enough
Yeah.
to tag and bag a person, to bring them along. That's probably
Yeah.
if it's an emergency situation, that's who you would go to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Plus,
then I go ahead and text back like the location where to meet us to drop them off.
Okay, so you get a text back and it says like one crazy summer.
Is that a movie?
I did
Huh?
not
Question
understand that
mark.
reference.
And it says, like the movie.
Uh,
And then posts a picture of he posts a picture of a young Demi Moore playing in a band at a inn slash like place that's called the Dewdrop Inn.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
Sure.
good call. Pretty much. Send.
Okay. He just sends a thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
Okay, so you on the drive there, Trisha, so you guys heard all that he's supposedly been protecting me for the last 30 years.
okay, Revis is going to make you backtrack a little conversation because he doesn't have aspects.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't hear that part.
ex-boyfriend turned Sabat when I was changed or embraced at the same time. He tried to kill me and his clan tried to kill me, and I've been on the run for 30 years because of it. And he is now saying that he was trying to protect me and is acting like everything's great.
Well, first of all, when they're released, they're not sane.
Good. It still doesn't change the fact that he tried to
Well,
kill
I
me.
understand. I'm just letting you know that it's one of their tactics. They find humans in groups, shovel them, for lack of better words, put them in the ground. They come out of the ground, and they're nothing but out of control. They just kind of point them in the right direction and say, go. And that's what they do.
The first time I saw him as an embraced was years after we'd been changed
Well,
or embraced or
you have to put that whole
verbiage.
crazy thing in perspective. They change. That's what the process the spot do. I don't know what he's telling you is true, but they change. Now, part of that change, it's like anything else vampiric. Sometimes the last thing they see is what they focus on. It's kind of a psychological thing. I don't know how it applies here. Not familiar with pack herd mentality thing per se, but if you were the last thing he focused on when he went down, he could be fixated on you legitimately. Now, he might not understand it all. He might justify it in even number of ways. I mean, he's a bot. They like to kill things and have a good time, but it's still a possibility. I'm not going to tell you it's not.
I guess we'll see what he has to say.
We'll know for sure if he's lying
But
or
that's
not.
essentially the rundown.
Yeah, well, like I said.
Oh, and he said that they have Damaris, and he can't bring her to us and whatnot. So he probably has information about Damaris too.
Well, truthfully, if they have Damaris, the Sabbat's way they treat prisoners is if they don't want them to escape, they frequently nail them to walls with railroad ties. So it's not likely he can bring Damaris because he'd have to cut him down, and it's messy, and they're unlikely to leave Damaris without a watcher. Just saying.
It's just he has information about it. So
fast forwarding, you guys are getting caught back up and whatnot, and you come to the Dewdrop Inn at this point. It's a nice, creepy little rundown inn area with several small townhouses out and about. It's currently closed. You can see it says ring for service, on the sign and whatnot. And you end up seeing a pickup truck pulling up out front. A big, it's a F-350, looking things, pulling up. And Danny ends up hopping out the front, and he's like, he takes a peek up, in the back, and he says, "Did I done told you to be quiet?" And he just wraps his knuckle, twice down on something, and then there's just no movement, in the back. As you guys are pulled up and waiting, he just kind of waves. He says, Well, hi, Al. I done got you. Well, I was only able to get the one Chinese guy. The other one just, I think he's just like straight American or whatnot. I figured it'd be okay because I did get him from a Chinese restaurant.
That's quite all right, Danny. You've done great. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I
So
figured
he
there's
was
probably like some smell or maybe some eatery or I'm sure he ate stuff there. He probably seasoned correctly. I figure that's what y'all wanted this for. But why exactly are we meeting all the way up here for this? I thought you could just get delivery back down in Ashland.
This is takeout.
Well, right. But I know that.
We're not.
But,
It's not for us, Danny.
oh. Is that for that Eamon fella? Ain't he up here?
No, it's not for him. We're providing takeout for a third party as
Oh.
a good faith gesture.
And if you don't want to be involved with the Sabbat anymore, you better skedaddle.
Oh, that don't bother me none. Someone's got
Okay.
to sit back here and watch your backside and then them some good yams.
Okay. Thanks, Danny.
By the way, Danny, I do know what that means now.
I'm complimenting your backside. Is that the wrong thing to do?
I'm very thankful that you enjoy the view. However, if you didn't comment on it every time we saw each other, that would be great.
Oh, okay, right. So that's a tact thing. Okay, I will file that
Yeah.
away, and I apologize.
Just thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You can talk about my backside anytime, Danny.
There you go.
Revis just kind of goes over to Danny and goes like, "It's a sensitivity thing with some women. Most of the older ones, they adjust.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
See,
but there are some that are a little bit on the old-fashioned side that just never get over it, and it's okay.
Oh,
I understand,
now see,
Danny.
I thought my girl reading that Cosmo that was just like a line of garbage or whatnot. But okay, maybe she was being
No.
truthful.
Cosmo is where some of them get their more entertaining ideas.
And then you
Well,
end up
he's going
seeing
to weapon
a
up.
vehicle pulling up.
Okay.
It's pretty nondescript. For those of you in on the joke, which there are very few, the pulling up is actually a purple neon.
Interesting.
Yep, checks out. Inconspicuous.
Yeah, I figured Rachel would like that.
Revis just kind of picks up one
Yeah.
of the bodies and grabs hold of the other and starts dragging it towards the vehicle.
Okay, and so he gets out. I mean, he's dressed in pretty plain clothes. He's got, it's bubbled up underneath, so he's got some like sort of armor, maybe a vest or something on underneath.
Lily's going to use aura perception.
Okay. Bless you, Trudy.
Ben will flank Trish, making sure that he's next to her wherever she's going.
Okay.
She just kind of still back by the car a little bit, hanging, just watching,
Sure.
waiting for Jeremy to kind of make the first move.
So, Danny ends up pulling out a big old thing of like rebar.
Revis goes, where you want these?
He says, the trunk.
Okay.
He just
Puts them
clicks
in
a
the
button
trunk.
and pops up.
Loads them in the trunk and closes it up and goes and stands over by Danny's truck.
Okay.
Does Jeremy
Some-
look different than
Okay.
his all-American thing?
Oh yeah. He hair wise and cut. I mean, that all still look the same. But he is very, very pale.
He now looks like Kiefer Sutherland.
Please, not that haircut though.
No mullet man action going on.
Thank you. I mean, I know we were
Okay, and
embracing
what were you
the
looking
80s,
for
but
specifically, Shelley?
I'm checking his aura. She's watching to see if he's lying when
Okay.
he starts talking,
Sure.
and what kind of I mean, is he confident or is he somewhat fearful?
Okay. Well, so one, you confirm he's a vampire.
Mhm.
Two, you confirm that he is a little anxious, and we'll take it from there. So, Trish, I mean, he's there.
I actually have to head out now, so I apologize.
No problem.
Okay. No
So
problem.
do I just
We're
Have a
gonna
good
wrap it up here
afternoon.
in a couple minutes, anyways.
okay? Am I okay to exit out of this? Is it
Yes.
gonna mess up stuff?
Nope,
Okay.
nope. You were
All
good.
right. Bye, guys. Sorry.
Hello.
Bye.
Yeah.
Take
Bye,
care.
Rach.
When he comes out, she's just gonna hi.
Hey. God, you still look good.
Don't. So what?
Don't mention our yams.
So you're seriously telling me all of this was just because they're Sabat and that's it?
Yeah. They made me undergo like this powerful ritual, and it's like this big group bond. And when I'm around them or when they're issuing orders, I'm really tied to them. I want to do the things that they want to do. It's the right thing to do. It still feels like the right thing to do.
So it's knowing what you know that they apparently would like to do with me, you still feel like it's the right thing to do?
I can't help it.
Are they ever going to stop?
No. They're fixated on you.
But why? It doesn't make any sense. And
I
are
don't
they
know.
fixated on me because of you?
Oh, wait.
Maybe I don't know the full tie. I think it has something to do with that night.
Wait.
We all died in a fire that night.
Revis walks over to Ben. He goes, Ben,
Yeah.
what's your bloodline?
What's her bloodline or my bloodline?
No, hers.
She's Toreador.
Yeah, specifically, what's her bloodline? Do you know?
Then turns to Trish. Yeah, do you know who sired you?
Technically, yes.
Anybody we know?
Took all of that. Yes.
And
Jerome, you're
Revis,
going to have to remind me because I remember, but I don't remember the names.
Sure.
Revis
I
just-
don't know if we specifically gave a.
it's okay, Jerome, because that's more than enough to satisfy my.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to look at Trish and go like, it's your bloodline, Trish. That's what they want.
What?
And so, I mean, Jeremy at that point shrugs. He says that could be. I don't know. They've never shared that with me.
They're like the Cam in that respect. Bloodlines are powerful. That's all I can really, that's all I really know. But if they can convert someone's child from a from a powerful bloodline, that's to their benefit. Just like the Cam works the other way. That's why the Cam take in some of their elders from the Sabbat on occasion who turn traitor and run. The bloodlines are important. So if you're from a powerful enough bloodline, yeah, they'll chase you for a long time.
Okay.
Or they're
Jeremy,
just
could that be
psychos who
could that honestly
fixated
could
on
that be it?
And he nods. He
Okay, so it
says,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why. Right? At the end of the day, they're not going to stop. So we have to kill them. Yep, I just found it too.
Whoo! I'm assuming, Jerome, that I won't have to look too hard to know who that is.
Sure. I'll give you a roll. Difficulty 6. So, do you have any cam lore?
That looks like an old name.
That is an old name.
It is.
I don't have Camlor.
Yeah.
No, I don't either.
You can still roll intelligence
I have investigation though,
or
and politics.
I'll allow I'll allow an intelligence and politics roll.
Okay.
Difficulty 7 though.
Okay. Politics is 1. Intelligence is 2. 5. Didn't make it. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. I mean, you feel like you're onto something. Just the name doesn't.
No,
doesn't
I understand.
pop into
I'm
your
looking
head.
at the name and going like, it's old European.
Yeah.
You know, that much is obvious. Okay.
So, what do you want at this point?
I can't do anything while I'm there. I just want to help you. They've called in somebody very serious.
Bastion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
No, you don't know. This guy is a serious heavy hitter.
I saw his work on the side of the road, Jeremy. I know what we're looking at.
That's him playing with you. That's not him being serious. That's just his art.
So how does Damaris factor into all this?
She's a traitor.
Woo.
And that's it.
No, they knew enough to know that she's your eyes and ears.
Figured. Makes sense.
And I'm
Are they?
I'm worried because they've called in somebody else.
Do you know what their plans for her are?
They're going to try her and kill her. She's heretical.
No, sir.
Right.
They've called in a man named Black Wallace.
Not familiar with that one.
With
Can I
a
roll to see if I recognize the name?
If you have Sabat lore, I will allow a roll.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So it would be, in this case, Wits and Sabat lore, difficulty 8.
Since I have Scholar of Sabat, would that decrease the difficulty?
Oh, lucky dog. It's going to bring it down to a 6.
Sweet.
I got only one success.
Same here. One
Okay.
success.
Black Wallace is the leader of the Sabat Inquisition.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That is
she's
a
in
big
trouble.
hitter.
She's in trouble.
And if you would like to Google him, you can. For out-of-character references, he is a canon character.
Wow. Do you know how much time she's got?
I don't.
Several of those tonight.
So what are your intentions here and with Trish?
I just want Trish to be safe.
Ben's going to
And with her not running, that I can't ensure that.
Okay.
Lily's still watching him with her aspects.
Okay.
Is he coming off truthful?
He's seriously conflicted, but yeah.
Okay.
Jeremy, does anybody else know that
you know enough about the Blood Lily to know that he is probably suppressing bonded urges to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him if he
Trish-
can memorize a phone number.
Who, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give him mine. That way you're not calling the same number. And I could arrange it so that if you need to talk to Trish later on, because obviously this isn't going to get resolved tonight. No one has enough time. So that gives you something else to call. And obviously, being a Setite, you can explain it away any of a number of ways. You're making a purchase.
Okay.
I'm dealing something to you.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds kind of plausible. We've
Okay.
dealt with him once. Uh, let's just say you're a serpent of the light, and he just kind of winks.
Okay. That'll work. And
Trish,
that way,
you-
everyone here can take a cool down period, and Trish knows what she, and we'll do our best to make sure she stays safe.
Okay. And he looks at
Jer-
Trish. He's like, "Do you believe them?"
I do. Look, this isn't.
put it this way: we will kill anything that comes after her.
Yeah.
Okay.
That includes you, Jeremy. If you come after her, I will kill you.
No. So
Uh,
with you threatening, you can see his face start to contort, like he's willing to
Yeah.
take that challenge, and he just kind of takes a second and
Stop.
tries to
Stop.
focus.
Wasn't appropriate.
Trish ends up falling back on pretty old habits between the two of them because Jeremy always had an anger issue. And she moves forward as if to do what she'd always done to stop it, but she
Okay.
like stops like halfway through.
Sure.
Revis closes about half the distance.
Okay.
Tension needs to wind down, and everyone needs to be somewhere else soon.
I'm safe.
Okay. If I'll just have to believe it. I just worry because this guy was able to get in single-handedly and basically kick all of you in the giggles and get away with it.
Yep.
Can you? I know everybody can hear me, so it'd be silly for me to even try to be quiet. But if you really do still love me the way that you act like you do, will you be my eyes and ears?
I'll do what I can. The bond is strong, but I'll do what I can.
This time she doesn't stop it, and she does walk forward and places a hand on his face.
Okay.
And she says,
He visibly calms, like at that touch.
"This bond was formed long before that one."
And he kind of nervously smiles, like sort of thing. At this point, it's even if you, because you don't have aspects or whatnot, but at this point you can tell he's fighting a different nature. At this point, there is a pull on him that it's difficult for him to resist.
Just remember that.
And he nods
And
and he says, and I know it doesn't sound like it, but I still love you. And you have no reason to believe that.
Thanks
Lily
for coming
will-
by, Jeremy. And she'd turn around and walk back.
Just as you
Lily will-
turn, he explodes.
Of course he does, because why wouldn't he?
No, he blew up, didn't he?
Yeah, he just
Bomb. Yep. Bastion.
and there's
Gotta love
just like everywhere. And then and his phone got thrown away with the blast at that point, and you can just hear some laughter coming from his phone.
Ben
Revis-
spends a blood for celerity to run to the phone, pick it up, and he's like, "Yeah, try that again, you piece of garbage. We're gonna get you, every one of you."
You can see like
Revis
just
is
as
gone.
as you pick up, it disconnected.
Revis goes for Trish and goes, Trish, grabs hold of her. Now we need to move. This
Yeah,
is
we need to
blown.
get out of here.
Yeah, and
Drags her to the car and goes,
Danny's
"Let's
just
go."
even Danny's kind of like going like, "Whoa!"
Need to get the people.
no, leave him. Leave
We
him.
have to go.
Not, yeah. Look at
Let this
Danny and
be
go like,
confusing.
Danny, we'll take care of the people. Get your ass out of here. It's blown.
All right, I'll see y'all some other place.
Okay. Come on, Trish, in the car now.
She's like in total shock.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're covered.
Revis
you're covered with Jeremy at this point.
Yeah. Revis is not being horribly gentle. He's like, okay. He just kind of picks her up, puts her in a carry, and
Yeah,
heads to the car.
just as quickly as possible, and head out. And that is where we're going to stop for the day. I know we've run over on time. I appreciate the dedication there. Surprise!
Yep. And the last
Poor
thing.
Jeremy.
You don't think they would have mentioned this at the last game?
No. And Jeremy, I'm sorry. When we get to
That's
the
why
car, the
Trish
last thing I
wasn't there.
do, Jerome, is I send a text to Trudy,
Okay.
and that'll be my last action.
Sure.
And
No
I'll
problem.
figure out what exactly is in it, but that'll be my
Like apprising of this situation?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, they'd have the time on the way back to text Trudy and company
Yeah.
to let you guys know. As
Right,
to
yeah.
why it wasn't brought up in the next one, most of it centered around Trish.
Yeah,
It would have been
she's
completely irrelevant to everything that was going on with the with Camille.
and
And
she's
the
kind
fact that
of
she
like
wasn't there.
I was
catatonic.
mostly
Yeah.
thinking about the previous our game last week where we were
Zamara stuff.
interrogating what's his face.
Right. No, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
anyway,
you guys are still mid interrogation, so you'll be able to add that now.
okay.
There you go. Yep.
Gives you stuff to work with.
Well, that was fun.
Wow.
Well,
that was
geez, Jerome.
Well, it takes to know that guy.
Curveball. Well, I guess we can't use him now.
No,
Yeah, Lily
We're
is not
kinda hoping
heartbroken
for
over
her.
that.
Trish is not going to be okay. This completely changes our Discord roleplay. She would have been very different.
May,
She was spending
may
a lot
I-
of willpower points to keep it together during that time.
May I
or maybe
introduce-
she was just numb at that point and was on autopilot.
Or we put tranquilizers in her blood supply.
There you go.
Valium.
That'd be
Here.
hilarious.
This is a really
A little
calm
bit of
human.
Prozac.
Have a meal.
Yeah.
You were going to say, Brittany?
May I introduce you to Dr. Prester?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, David
Right?
Jones, thank you very much for stopping by. For all of you who stopped by and viewed and watched, thank you again for stopping by. And all of our episodes now are updated on YouTube. This will be updated there soon. Our next game will be Vampire the Masquerade, the Ashland Chronicle on the 17th. And then on the 18th, we will be playing the superhero game again. Dun, dun, dun.
Woohoo.
And
So-
then it'll be our Cyberpunk.
Yep, and then Cyberpunk on the 22nd.
And
So-
I will be able
Shelley.
to play.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
So
I
thank
don't
you
know.
again for everybody tuning in to play, and we are out of here. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thanks.
Or good
Have a
day.
good one.
Peace.
Bye now.